I was connecting to like the raw angst of it, like the whole like this is somebody who's stuck somewhere. And in this case, they're stuck sort of mentally, like unable to move past something or like working through something, I guess, right? That happened in their lives. But this is somebody who's stuck somewhere who is like just beating on the walls to try to get out of it, basically. Like they can't think of anything else to do, right? And that I can connect with. Like that to me,
trying to escape the prison of their own mind.
So the album that we're talking about today, obviously, since we haven't named it yet, is Home Like No Place. I always say it backwards. Like No Place Is There, Not There Is, by the Hotelier. And I would say that is a pretty squarely an emo revival album. Like that is the only way to really classify it, right? I don't personally have that much of a history with emo music, and I'm curious if you do, like outside of this.
Kind of like you'd say this is emo revival, where I grew up on more like classical emo, whatever you'd call it. I don't know. My Chemical Romance, Blink 182 is more poppy, but they're definitely pretty emo. What else? I mean, even some Under Oath is pretty more of like screamo than metalcore.
The cursory research that I've done about this is that like emo is the thing like in the 80s, but their bands are like I never heard of. Like I honestly can't even think of them now, and I don't want to Google it because I'm just going to get down I'm going to change the subject. Then there was like a second wave of emo in the 90s. Then like a third and the fourth wave, which I think is what you're talking about with like My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
And then I think the Hoteliers sit like after that even. Like there's another wave after that. I don't know if it's the fifth or the sixth, the seventh, like how many there have been, but it's like, and it was kind of, to my knowledge, sort of like the last gasp of emo, basically. I think I went to a show it was in Rochester with my friend who went to school in Rochester. I just went to visit him, and we went to like this dinky little show. Like there probably were like 40 people there. And we went to see Modern Baseball, and the Hotelier opened up for them. There was actually two openers for them. The Hotelier was first, and there was a band called Sorority Noise, which I also really like. They have a kind of a similar feel to the Hotelier, actually. Also not as good as what I think now, but that was when I like got introduced to the Hotelier, and I think I remember. I mean, they played a couple of songs, probably not that many. They were just the opener, but I think I remember Housebroken, which we'll talk about today, is the one that like left an impression on me, and I was like, oh, this is like I got to figure out who these guys are. But at the time, they had this album. And they had one other album that I literally never listened to, like because of how good Home Like No Place Is There was, and that was the first thing I listened to. I was like, I don't need to listen to anything else. I don't need to try any other album that they have. And I've honestly never heard their first album like all the way through until today for this exercise.
I haven't listened to it.
Yeah, it was okay. Like, it's not worth bringing like into the conversation because it's like there's one or two good songs, and like you can hear you can tell that they're onto something. Like I think if I heard that in when it first came out, a couple years beforehand, like I would have been like, okay, I kind of get this, but it's nowhere near as good as Home. So that's why we're not talking about it.
You introduced it to me. I was in my early 20s, like 22, 23.
We're in that area. Yep.
Really, my introduction to them as a band was driving out to Pittsburgh to see them. So you played this album for me on the way out there. I think you'd played it for me before, but that was the first time I like really sat down and listened in on it. Was in the car on the way
committed.
To them. Yeah. And then that was another concert. There were maybe 40 people.
I remember, yeah.
At most. It was like that little dingy Pittsburgh basement bar.
Basement bar, yep. Like,
And it was just so good. It was such a good concert.
so that I actually don't think I realized that that was your introduction to them.
Yeah, going to see them.
I don't think I knew that. I thought I had convinced you to like them already, but maybe I just assumed that.
I think like you had played them for me before and I enjoyed them, but I don't think I'd really sat down and listened to them until like on the way to that concert and then afterwards.
Now, what do you think of it? Like, does it still just take you to that place in time, or do you have like a has a? I don't know. I'm curious if it's something that has sort of changed the way you hear it, because I don't want to speak for you, but I realized that happened this last couple weeks listening to it again for this recording, where I was like, oh, like I hear this differently than I did 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I wonder if you feel the same way.
Yeah, kind of. I was actually just thinking that like past couple of days listening to it pretty much on repeat. With an album, when I first discover an album that I really love, I will associate it with like a memory or a person. And then for a while, I'll keep listening to it and just associating it with that memory. And then over time, I just kind of absorb the album, if that makes sense. It just becomes less associated with that memory and more just as a part of me.
I didn't realize, again, until we were doing this, like, I knew I wanted to talk about this album with you. And I was like, this is an important one for me. But I don't think I realized until this past month. Like, I sort of think about a couple of bands and a couple of albums that, like, constitute my personality a little bit. Not my personality, but, like, constitute my taste and, like, in some way, like, part of my history.
Yeah.
So I think that's how I'm interpreting what you're saying. I don't know if it's exactly the same thing, but for me, this is definitely one of those. And I don't think it hit me until like 2-3 weeks ago, or even like, yeah, it was like, oh, like this is like really important to me. And I didn't quite, until you really go through and listen for some of the stuff like purposefully, you don't quite totally realize it. You're like, oh, this is like really internal, right? Like this lives somewhere deep.
Yeah.
Like it's almost impressive. I wrote this down at some point in my notes. Like it's almost impressive that you could make this into music if this actually happened to you. Like if you had somebody you lost this way and like all these things that you've written about in these songs are true. It's impressive that you've been able to make it into music. Like that's what I think of it, really.
It's tough because you have to like really just open up about it. You know, it's on pen and paper at first. You have to have like a solid understanding of what's going on in your own mind. Like good enough understanding of it to be able to convey it through words.
And the other thing is like the music isn't sad. Like this album rocks. You know what I mean? Like it's the way I've been thinking about it is like each one, all of the shredding that they do, all of the like incredible drum, like they're doing so much cool stuff with their instruments, and like some of this stuff is so like powerful musically. I kind of feel like that was the outlet. They were like, okay, we need to figure out how to make something out of this crazy experience, and like each one of these like cymbal hits and each one of these guitar riffs is like building something out of the pain, basically. And I find that to be really impressive. Like I literally could not do it. I don't have the skills to do that.
I hate to bring up Radiohead again, but
No, but you should.
Yeah, I mean, everything relates. It all goes back to Radiohead eventually.
All good music does. I agree with you.
Yeah,
we're in lockstep about that theory.
Yeah, but in talking about how they're writing the music to kind of help themselves through something, it just made me think of what's it called? Kid A track 4.
How did it disappear?
How did it disappear completely?
Is that it? Okay.
Yeah, that's his song. I know the track number.
Still got it.
But that's a song that times where I've been like really upset, really depressed about something. Like I'll just pick up an acoustic guitar and like play it and sing it, and it helps me feel better.
Mhm.
So like all those cymbal crashes and the like the guitar they're just letting it out.
That was Discomfort Revisited, right? That you just did, track 8. I wish you were here, or wish you could stay, wish you could feel the same way, or something like that. I wrote it down. It's such a good line. God, that's so brutal. Like that's such a brutal thing to write at the end of this album. I was connecting to like the raw angst of it, like the whole like this is somebody who's stuck somewhere. And in this case, they're stuck sort of mentally, like unable to move past something or like working through something, I guess, right? That happened in their lives. But this is somebody who's stuck somewhere who is like just beating on the walls to try to get out of it, basically. Like they can't think of anything else to do, right? And that I can connect with. Like that to me,
trying to escape the prison of their own mind.
Exactly. And being stuck when you're like, you mentioned being in your our early 20s when this came out, like literally being stuck somewhere where you're just like, I love living with everybody, but it was like, I'm just living with my stupid roommates who like, who are just like trashing our crappy apartment, and none of us have good jobs, and none of us have any relationships that are real.
We all had the same job.
That's correct. Yes. And it wasn't great. I'm going to speak for myself. I was spinning my wheels big time. I was spinning my wheels. And like our effort to move and be like, we're going to move to across the country was like very much in reaction to the way that I was feeling, where I was like, I'm just stuck. I can't get out of this place. And I don't have any good ideas, basically. Like, I don't know what else to do. Right. And this album is like that, but about a very specific thing.
I can just right off the bat with an introduction to the album.
Yeah, let's start there. You're going legendary.
Yeah. I just slept for years on end. Fuck. It's such a good way to start.
That happens 3 minutes into this 4.5-minute song. Which is so brilliant. And what I love about it is like it's not like any other song on the album. Like that the introduction to the album is the only one that is like it, which is like it's really slow at the beginning. And it's basically just guitar and voice. And it's like building.
Yeah, they're easing you into the album.
It's named perfectly
for a good intro and a good outro to albums.
And so this one is a legendary introduction to it. I wanted to give it legendary, but I felt like, I'm going to spoil this. I have 2 other legendary songs that I rated. And I was like, can you give it 3? Like, is that too much? What do you think? I'm going to give it legendary. I'm with you. I love it. It's a great song.
It's so good. I guess I don't want to like dilute the meaning of the legendary rating.
I think you can give an album 3, especially an album that you consider like one of your favorite in the world and like at the core of your heart. I think this deserves 3, and this is, I think, deservedly one of them. From the line that you just mentioned, which is like the best line in the whole, like their whole discography. But like, there's other stuff in here that's really good too. Like even the way that he starts it, where he's like, "Open the curtain," and like the way that it just like frames it all.
It's so good.
He is like immediately in so much pain, right? Like frames it perfectly. Like, oh, you're listening to an emo album, and the rest of it's gonna sound just like this. Like this is.
Get ready to be really sad, because that's how I feel writing this album.
I don't take a lot of lyrics away from this one. Like there's not a lot of lines in this song where I'm like, I sing that back to myself. Whereas like virtually everything else there is. So I actually don't even really know what this song is about. Like narratively, I'm like, I don't know. what piece of that we're talking about here with this song. It's like, it's almost too like raw, honestly. It's a really raw song.
I have to pull up the lyrics. That's something I haven't done much with this album. That really changes a lot of music for me, just sitting down and reading the lyrics along to the songs.
And then you're like, oh, that's what it's about. Do you have any skips? Should I ask this down?
No, there's not a song in this album I skip.
I don't have any skips when I put the album on purpose, but there is one song that if it came up on shuffle, I would skip it. We'll get there when we get there, but there's one where I'm like, it needs to be like, the only way I listen to it is in the context of the album. Yeah, that's it. Doesn't it have like a ska feel to it? I think that's why I like it.
Yeah, it does.
It has like a ska feel to it. And then there's this part where he like slows it down a little bit and he starts like talking into the, well, it's not really a talk. It's I don't know. It's just like a different vocal delivery. And he's just like, call me baby and we'll down, and like picks back up again. And I just think that's like underratedly a great moment on the album, honestly. So I like this song a lot. I give it a great. Track 4, Your Deep Rest. Tell me about this song.
This, I'd say, is one of the really standout songs on the album.
It's one of my other legendaries. One of my original legendaries. I think it's like emo masterpiece, dude. I think this is like among the best emo songs ever written. It's so good.
It's just emo music encompassed into one line.
100%. Called in sick for your funeral. The sight of your body made me uncomfortable. I couldn't recognize your shell. This is not a whiny song. Like, this is a rock song that has like a lot of good energy to it. Like, the guitars are like, there's sort of like this choked like picking going on. I don't know what you call that, but it was like da, 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 da. It doesn't even need a bass. Like, I realized listening to this today, there's no bass that I can discern because the guitars, the rhythm guitars do everything. Like, they carry the whole, basically. And it has such like genuinely good energy that it's like a song that's literally about missing somebody's funeral because you're so sad that they killed themselves. Sounds like this. It's a masterpiece. It's legendary. That's all I can say.
Legendary, hands down.
Imagine playing it in front of like 1 million people, though.
Nope.
See what I mean?
Not interested in that.
Exactly. And if you're Tom York, you have to. Well, not anymore. You do whatever you want now that you're now that you're 60 years old and you're just living the life.
Yeah.
Could we just briefly, they released 9 studio albums. Are we really to believe in the year 2026 that they're not going to make a 10th? Are they done? Is Radiohead done? Tell me they're not done.
I don't know. Like, they did mean for that last one to be like the conclusion to their discography, right?
Did they? Oh God, I didn't know that.
I thought they did, but
I just thought you can't end on 9 if you can. Like, 10 is such a great round number.
I don't know.
It's been 10 years, Alex.
It's been a long time.
It's been
10 years since that album came out.
Since the Moonshaped Pool came out, yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah. So, I think we're cooked. I don't think they're coming back with another one. Yes, they take a breath. You could hear birds in the beginning even. Like, they really take a breath. And I'm like, thank God. Because after Your Deep Rest, like, if you just did that again, it would be, like, pulverizing. Like, you need to chill. You need to take a step back.
I don't know if I'd say it's, like, one of my top songs on the album. But it has some moments, like, chewing wallflowers to numb the pain is probably one of my top lines on the album.
It's a great line. And they do a lot of cool stuff with like the structure of the song. It's kind of long and it's like soft during some points and loud during other points.
Yeah.
And then there's this thing at the end, which I wrote down and I didn't even never connected to this at all until listening to this like a couple weeks ago for this. They interview like this kid. They're talking to this like child about like bullying. I think you can hear it at the end. Like they're asking about like what would you do if like somebody was hurting your friend, basically, and the kid responds and like says some version of like I would, I would basically like do what I need to do to stick up for them or whatever. And like that's kind of cheesy, but I think I probably would have thought it was cheesy when I was 22 and this song or this album first came out. But like now I don't think it's cheesy. I'm like, this is like another brutal moment and another like awesome thing to include on your emo album.
I didn't know if that was like from a movie or what.
Yeah, I don't know either. I assumed, well, maybe it's from a movie, but I assumed like it was just an interview with a kid, basically. Really weird way to end a song, but it worked for me. I liked it. I was like, you know what? It's a great song. Give it a great. This is the one I would skip. Life and Drag.
Okay, that makes sense.
This is the one where I'm like, if this is on shuffle and it comes up, I'm over it. I don't get it. I don't hear any of it. Really, it's just like too much yelling.
Yeah, I mean, like musically, it's the like simplest song on the album, or at least interesting. But me coming from my like metal and screamo background, I really enjoy this song.
Housebroken is the other legendary song, which I think you probably could have guessed. And I think it's like, aside from like narratively, this whole like thing about a dog, like the thing that they do where they're like, oh, we're basically going to all of a sudden start writing from the perspective of like this person is a dog essentially, and like they're in Stockholm syndrome. I just think it's brilliant. And it's like the rest of this album is like you're writing to a person, and then all of a sudden you're like, you're a dog now.
Yeah. It's it's funny about that. As I remember many years ago, you saying you didn't like metaphors.
Well, I do now.
Is this an exception to the rule, or have you grown fond of metaphors in general?
I think I've grown much more fond of them in music, actually. I don't know if I was talking about music at the time or just in general, but I was also like an idiot 22-year-old. So I'm sure I said that and like genuinely meant it. But now I kind of feel like if you can make a convincing metaphor in your song, I'm on board with it.
Yeah.
And it's done perfectly. Although I think like this is obviously about like domestic abuse of some sort, but I think they were interviewed about this song in the past and like did not commit to like this being about that. Like they were like kind of wishy-washy about like what this was actually about and if it was about somebody who was like in an abusive relationship. But to me, I'm like, I don't know how you could read this any other way. Like,
yeah,
this is like clearly Stockholm syndrome. Like, you've been housebroken, and yeah, I don't know.
Touchy subject. Maybe they just didn't want to like share someone else's business.
Exactly.
I mean, they did through the song, but if it's different to have a song like this and then to actually during an interview
name it,
explain your friend's situation.
Yeah, it's kind of fitting that they put these at the end where they're like, because Goodness is like not a sad album. Like it's definitely an emo album, but it's not like a tragedy album like this is. Goodness has a lot more like literally finding the good in stuff, and I think these two tracks do that really well, and they actually sound like much more like I wrote down they're like grown up emo. Which I really appreciate about them now. Yeah. I don't think I liked them I don't think I ever listened to these songs when we went to go see that show 10 years ago. Like I was not into these, and now I'm like, oh, like 32-year-old me loves these songs.
Yeah. I'm a grown-up emo.
Yeah, I am grown-up emo.
Yeah. The picture's a little bit clearer. Yes. Everything just kind of comes into perspective the older you get.
A little bit more. You've made it like, the way I think about it is like, I've made it to the other side of some things now. And at the time, that wasn't really necessarily true. I hadn't really made it to the other side of anything when I was 20. But now I have a couple things, not everything, but a couple things. And so these like resolution songs hit with me a little bit more than they used to.